What if I told you there's an animal that can survive the absolute void of outer space? I'm not talking about a movie monster. This is a real creature that was sent into space, exposed to the vacuum, the lethal radiation, with no air and no water, and it came back to Earth alive. This incredible animal is called the tardigrade, but it's more affectionately known as the water bear or moss piglet. And when you see one up close, you'll understand why. They look like tiny, 8-legged, chubby bears lumbering around. So, where can you find these little superheroes? The answer is pretty much everywhere. Tardigrades are what we call extremophiles, meaning they thrive in extreme environments. They live in the damp moss in your backyard, in the soil of the deepest forest, at the bottom of the ocean, and even on the highest mountains. They're microscopic, usually less than half a millimeter long, so you'd need a microscope to spot one. But despite their tiny size, they are one of the toughest, most resilient animals known to science. They've been on this planet for over 500 million years, surviving all 5 mass extinction events. They're true survivors, predating even the dinosaurs. The story gets really wild in 2007. A team of European scientists decided to put the tardigrade's reputation to the ultimate test. They packed a group of these tiny creatures onto the Photon M3 mission and launched them into low Earth orbit. Once in space, they opened the container and exposed the tardigrades directly to the harsh environment. For 10 days, these little guys faced the full force of space, the complete vacuum, which would make any other living thing's fluids boil away, and the intense solar and cosmic radiation, which shreds DNA. It was a death sentence for virtually any other form of life we know. After their 10-day ordeal in orbit, the spacecraft returned to Earth, and the scientists eagerly examined their microscopic passengers. The results were astounding. Not only had a significant number of the tardigrades survived the vacuum of space, but some that were also exposed to the full blast of solar radiation survived as well. This was a groundbreaking discovery. No other animal had ever been shown to withstand the combined vacuum and radiation of open space and live to tell the tale. And the story gets even more incredible. Some of the female tardigrades that returned from this space trip went on to lay eggs, and these eggs hatched into healthy baby tardigrades. This meant they hadn't just survived. They were still healthy enough to reproduce. It was proof that life, in some form, could endure the most hostile environment imaginable. So, what's their secret? How do these tiny water bears pull off this impossible feat? The answer lies in a remarkable survival mechanism called cryptobiosis. It's a state of suspended animation, like something out of science fiction. When faced with life-threatening conditions, like a complete lack of water, a tardigrade can essentially press pause on its life. It curls up into a little ball called a ton, expels almost all the water from its body, sometimes down to just 3% of its normal content, and shuts down its metabolism to a near undetectable level less than 0.01% of its normal rate. In this dried out, dormant state, they are practically indestructible. While in cryptobiosis, the tardigrade's body is protected by special proteins and sugars that turn the inside of their cells into a glass-like solid. This prevents their cell structures from collapsing or being destroyed. In this ton state, they can withstand conditions that will be instantly fatal to almost anything else. They've been boiled in water at over 150 degrees Celsius. They've been frozen in liquid nitrogen to temperatures near absolute zero. They've been subjected to pressure 6 times greater than those found in the deepest ocean trench. And they've been bombarded with doses of radiation hundreds of times higher than what would kill a human. In every case, once conditions become favorable again, just add a drop of water, they reanimate, unfold, and crawl away as if nothing happened. They can remain in this state for decades, maybe even centuries, waiting for the right moment to come back to life. This incredible resilience has allowed tardigrades to colonize some of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Scientists have found them thriving near boiling deep-sea volcanic vents, where the pressure and heat are immense. They've been collected from the icy glaciers of the Himalayas, frozen solid for years at a time. They can survive in deserts, rainforests, and even in the temporary puddles that form on city streets. Their ability to enter cryptobiosis at a moment's notice means they can go wherever wind or water carries them, confident that they can survive whatever they find when they get there. They are nature's ultimate pioneers, the true masters of survival. The tardigrade is more than just a scientific curiosity. It's a profound testament to the tenacity of life. It challenges our understanding of what it takes to be alive and where life could potentially exist, not just on Earth, but elsewhere in the universe. If a creature this complex can survive the vacuum of space, it opens up fascinating possibilities for life on other planets, like Mars or on the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The study of tardigrades could even have applications for us, from preserving medical supplies without refrigeration to developing better ways to protect astronauts from radiation during long duration space missions. The humble water bear shows us that even the smallest creatures can possess the most extraordinary strengths, and that life is far more resilient and adaptable than we could ever imagine. It's a reminder that even in the face of impossible odds, survival is possible. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of the tardigrade. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more bizarre science facts. See you in the next one.